Coming up on Retirement Today with April Roberts.
It's really important to remember, Mark, that most retirement accounts can't be touched without tax penalty until age 59 and a half. There are certain provisions that allow you to do that early, but it's very important that you work with a financial advisor so you get that right.
Because if you're taking a percentage of your portfolio each year, you can't afford for that portfolio to go up and down, okay? You want something a little more consistent.
Now, a lot of times we hear withdrawal rate. And the typical rule is you can take out 4% of your stocks and bonds and not have to worry about it. Well, what happens if you need 5%? Maybe we need to go to another source of income to get you that 5%.
And now the host of Retirement Today, April Roberts.
Thanks for joining us today. We know that your time is valuable, so we have designed 30 minutes of action-packed information specifically for you and your retirement. Retirement Today starts right here, right now.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of AskAprilRoberts.com, where you, the general public, send in your questions, and April answers them right here on the TV show. April, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you, Mark?
Good, thank you.
Awesome.
The first question I have for you is from Dave in Sugar Land, and he writes, April, I'm hoping to retire early in about 2 years when I turn 57. My wife doesn't think it's feasible, but I think it can be done. What do I need to consider before retiring at a relatively young age?
All right. Well, Dave, great question, and congratulations for being able to retire early. First, I think that you have to consider health care. So most people continue to work even when they can retire because they're trying to reach age 65 so they can get on Medicare. Now, today, with the new health care laws, there are other options out there, and perhaps your company has retiree benefits. So we definitely want to take a look into health care costs and how you can still continue to get health care for you and your spouse and any children still at home. So that's the first thing. Second, Dave, it's really important to remember, Mark, that most retirement accounts can't be touched without tax penalty until age 59 and a half. There are certain provisions that allow you to do that early, but it's very important that you work with a financial advisor so you get that right. The last thing, Mark, that someone wants to do is pay penalties to the IRS, I think. So that's the second thing. Perhaps let's look to see if you have other savings or assets that you can use to supplement income until you turn 59 and a half. A third concern is that you're not eligible for Social Security yet. Again, not a game changer. It doesn't necessarily mean you can't retire, but where else are we going to go to get income until you reach Social Security age? And you know, Mark, finally, what's important for anyone planning to retire is to get a good retirement income plan. Dave, really, all of these concerns would be covered by a great retirement income plan. And, you know, I know personally, Mark, one of my favorite things I do is when clients walk in and they think they have to wait to retire, and I show them a way that they can retire earlier. So, Dave, I think if you want to retire in 2 years, it's great to bring your wife in and let's see.
You know, I think it's important to let people know that, and I say this over and over, but not all financial advisors are the same. There are some advisors that specialize in retirement planning, not the accumulation of your money, but rather now I'm getting ready to retire. So it seems like this would be a great candidate. Talk about the difference between someone who helps you accumulate your money and someone who helps you through retirement.
Mark, that's a great question. Dave, one thing to remember is I'm certain if you're retiring at age 57, you've had someone who's done a great job of helping you to grow your assets. This is during the accumulation phase of retirement, Mark. But now that you're facing retirement, you really need to find an advisor who has the skill set to help you distribute those assets. So a lot of the concerns we talked about earlier should be considered in a retirement income plan, and most people think that the same advisor who helped them to grow their assets can help them distribute them. But this isn't always the case. So Dave, I'd highly recommend you find a good retirement income planner so that you can make your dreams come true and retire at age 57.
And thanks so much for your question. If you'd like to have your questions answered here on the show, it's really easy. Just go to askaprilroberts.com. Don't go anywhere, lots of great stuff to come.
I'd like to share with you a funny story that happened in the office this week. Clients of mine, I'm going to call them John and Betty for confidentiality, came in for their annual review. And John sat down with a big smile on his face, which was a little strange because though he's a nice guy, he's not an openly enthusiastic person. And he said, "April, I just want to thank you for setting up our mailbox money." I looked at John and Betty a little bit shocked because I didn't know what the heck John was talking about. So I said, "Well, John, I appreciate that. It's always our pleasure to take care of you. However, can you share with me what you mean?" And John went on to tell me a story about when he was going off to college. His dad told him, "John, go and do well in college, get a good job with a strong company, and then when you retire, they'll give you a great pension, and that's your mailbox money. Make sure you get a job that gives you mailbox money, that pension that shows up every month so you keep getting paid in retirement." Well, as we all know, the world's changed a little bit since John went off to college, and pensions are almost a thing of the past today, although some people do still get them. John, however's company got bought out and his pension taken away. So when John and Betty first sat down with me 3 years ago, John's biggest concern was where to get his mailbox money. After sitting down and doing a full retirement income plan, we were able to set that up for them. And as we all know, the money doesn't show up in the mailbox anymore. It's deposited into their bank account monthly. But we were able to set up systematic income for them that he knows will last for his life and Betty's. So John was sitting down to thank me for setting up his mailbox money. If you have any questions about that, feel free to give us a call in the office or visit our website.
You're watching Retirement Today with April Roberts, because you deserve better.
It's your retirement. How will you live it? How will you be remembered?
Will you be able to take me on vacation?
Will you be there for my ball games?
Will you teach me your values? You'll be able to play with me.
Oh, help me go to college. How will I remember you?
Have the retirement you dream about. AskAprilRoberts.com.
Having no clear retirement plan is a mistake I see a lot in my financial planning office when I meet with someone new. It is extremely rare that someone comes in and has a clearly defined income plan for his or her retirement. One way you will be able to get a clearly defined retirement income plan is to talk to an independent financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. Not someone who is specialized in getting you to retirement, but someone who is dedicated to getting you through retirement. If you don't have a clear retirement plan, then be one of the first 5 callers and you will receive a free complete planning review. There is no obligation and no cost if you have at least $250,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you will receive: a free report to sort through your current advisor's cost, a tailored plan to guard your investments, tax analysis to reduce liability and increase cash flow, and a custom income plan to boost retirement. Plus, you'll receive a budget assessment to help manage your cash flow. So call now for your free, no obligation financial review.
You're watching Retirement Today with April Roberts, because you deserve better.
This week's topic is, what's your sleep number? And I'm not talking about mattresses, ladies and gentlemen. When people come into my office, their number one concern is running out of money in retirement. When market volatility hits and low interest rates like we're seeing now, guess what happens? They start losing sleep at night. So at the end of the day, I think what's important as you're about to retire or already in retirement, we have to segue you from the accumulation phase, which is the part of your life where you are earning money and saving money, into the distribution phase. And during the distribution phase, when you need to take money out of these savings, is exactly when market volatility and low interest rates causes you to lose sleep at night. In order to handle this, we want to focus on what's your sleep number. As a retirement income planner, it's very important that for my clients, we make sure we get them the correct amount of money every month showing up in their bank account. And here's how we do that. What I like to do is mind the gap. And what I'm talking about is your income gap. So in retirement, you have sources of retirement income and you have investable assets. Your investable assets are going to be your 401k, your IRA, maybe some CDs, savings, any other sources or pools of money that you save for retirement. On the other side, you have your income sources. So some popular forms of income sources would be Social Security and pension. Let's take a couple that was in my office just last week. They walked in and he was going to earn $2,500 a month in Social Security. She was going to earn $1,500 a month in Social Security. And he had a pension from an old company, just a smaller one, that was going to pay him $500 a month. So their total income per month in retirement was going to be $4,500 per month. Here's the catch. The reason they came to see me is they were worried because their bills, expenses, going out to dinner, spoiling the grandkids, all of this cost them $7,000 a month. So they wanted to know, April, where do we get the difference? So if we take the $7,000 that they needed minus the $4,500 of income that they have coming in, we see that they have an income gap of $2,500 a month. Now, if we take that $2,500 times 12, that's going to be $30,000 a year of additional income they needed. Imagine this. What if they were taking that additional income from their stocks? When the stock market went up, they'd be fine, right? But when the stock market went down, what happens? They start to lose sleep and wonder where this money's coming from. Instead, we want to solve for this with another income source. At the end of the day, this $30,000 for this couple who had saved $600,000 for retirement represented 5% withdrawal rate. 30,000 of 600,000 is 5%. Now, a lot of times we hear withdrawal rate. And the typical rule is you can take out 4% of your stocks and bonds and not have to worry about it. Well, what happens if you need 5%? Maybe we need to go to another source of income to get you that 5%. And for us, we love to build the retirement income home for our clients. Foundation, walls, and roof. The roof are their stocks and bonds that go up and down in volatility. This is not where we want to go to solve their income gap. Instead, we want to look somewhere like an annuity or life insurance policy that's going to give them a stream of income that lasts for their life and their spouse's life. If you have any questions, please feel free to visit our website or call us at the office.
You're watching Retirement Today with April Roberts, because you deserve better.
Life, a series of moments. A touch, a look, a laugh. Successful people. It might not be superior imagination. It just might be superior retirement planning. Imagine what's next. Plan today, own tomorrow.
Call Roberts Wealth Management, 713-322-6600.
Having no clear retirement plan is a mistake I see a lot in my financial planning office when I meet with someone new. It is extremely rare that someone comes in and has a clearly defined income plan for his or her retirement. One way you will be able to get a clearly defined retirement income plan is to talk to an independent financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. Not someone who is specialized in getting you to retirement, but someone who is dedicated to getting you through retirement. If you don't have a clear retirement plan, then be one of the first 5 callers and you will receive a free complete planning review. There is no obligation and no cost if you have at least $250,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you will receive: a free report to sort through your current advisor's cost, a tailored plan to guard your investments, tax analysis to reduce liability and increase cash flow, and a custom income plan to boost retirement. Plus, you'll receive a budget assessment to help manage your cash flow. So call now for your free, no obligation financial review.
You're watching Retirement Today with April Roberts, because you deserve better. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's Retirement True or False, where I am accompanied, as usual, by the great father and daughter team of Paul Roberts and April Roberts of Roberts Wealth Management. And Paul, how you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, thank you. And my first question is for you. And that question is, Paul, most retirees are using the same strategy they used in the accumulation stage of their retirement as in the distribution stage of their retirement. True or false?
That is true. They're using the same strategy, okay? And the distribution stage requires a different strategy, okay? You're into the principal preservation mode once you retire and you go into distribution stage. Because if you're taking a percentage of your portfolio each year, you can't afford for that portfolio to go up and down, okay? You want something a little more consistent, okay? As income planners or financial advisors, we can't give income advice on that type of environment, okay? Now, you do need some growth in there, though. So most of your money should be one way or the other according to your individual plan or strategy that fits you or your income gap. So that's what we go by.
You know, Paul, just to piggyback on top of that, it seems to me like the general public doesn't realize that not all financial advisors are created equal, that some actually specialize in retirement planning. Right, April? That is what they do.
Absolutely. And if you're retired or planning for retirement and you don't have a written retirement income plan, then you're probably not fully prepared, in my opinion.
And my next question is, in fact, for you, April, and that is, approximately 1 out of 2 retirees will require long-term care at some point in their life. True or false?
Mark, that's probably true. And what's interesting to me is when we interview new clients, I always ask them, do you have long-term care insurance? And I would say that 80% say no. And my next question is, does this concern you? Overwhelmingly, the answer to that is yes.
So what do we do about that if that's the case? What can we say to those clients when it comes to that? And I recognize it's a case-by-case scenario. There isn't one wide-sweeping brushstroke that I can do on that. But what are the sort of things that we'll ask them then to figure out if it's right for them to do it, even though they may have said, yes, I want it?
Well, first and foremost, we want to set them up for retirement. We want to make sure they're getting that paycheck every month coming in and it's not maybe money. And once we have that in place, we'll look at their disposable income and see what other assets they have and the best way to use that for long-term care planning. And sometimes if it's a tight call, it's up to the client. How important is this to you to cover? But one misnomer is people think as they get older, these options aren't available to them, but there are actually very strong companies that specialize in the senior market, let's call it, and those products still are available to them.
You know, Paul, you were nodding your head there. And I know in a past show we had talked about sometimes you can get some of the aspects of long-term care through other products that aren't necessarily a long-term care insurance product. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. And a lot of people we have found that we work with are introduced to that for the first time in their life. It's never explained to them like that. In other words, long-term care, you collect money by how? Requiring the long-term care. But what if you don't ever? So we have alternative policies we can show them that's called hybrid policies, where you collect if you live, you collect if you die, or you collect if you go in a nursing home. There's 3 ways to collect money instead of 1 way.
Paul, April, thanks so much. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot of great stuff to come. You're watching Retirement Today with April Roberts, because you deserve better.
You're on the back nine heading for the clubhouse. Your dreams of spending time with family and enjoying retirement are just within reach. What happens if you end up in the rough? In these uncertain times, it's crucial to be prepared with sound advice. Roberts Wealth Management is one of the premier retirement income planning firms in Texas. For a complimentary consultation, call 713-322-6600. Roberts Wealth Management, helping you create a winning strategy.
You're watching Retirement Today with April Roberts, because you deserve better.
Thanks for joining us today. If you have any questions, feel free to visit our website or give us a call in the office. And remember, a good retirement income plan is the start to your happy and smart retirement. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week.